Welcome to Vaping and Brew with Becca and Drew. Boom. Hi, and welcome to Vaping and Brew with Becca and Drew. Today we will be discussing the movie Birdman. Take two. We'll be...
Hi and welcome to Vaping and Brew with Becca and Drew. Today we will be discussing a movie review of Birdman.
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 Okay, so it's a movie about a man with mental problems. It's he's schizophrenic or something to that extent. I don't know. The acting in it was really well done. It was very, very well acted. Edward Norton did a superb job. Don't say that word.
Did you like the movie?
I loved it.
Okay.
4 beans out of beans.
Okay. I rate it 2 beans out of 4 beans.
Okay. Did you like it?
I did not.
Why didn't you like it?
I didn't like it because I felt like it was extremely close to the storyline of Vanilla Sky. For example, the only difference I feel like in Birdman versus Vanilla Sky is that in Vanilla Sky it's a failed millionaire, entrepreneur, whatever you want to call him, and in Birdman it's a failed
successful actor.
Well, failed actor who then becomes successful after his many tries.
Yeah, I forget Vanilla Sky. I forget the parallels, but when maybe you could explain them more because I forget.
Okay. I think the only difference is just that it's just based on a failed actor, and then a failed billionaire entrepreneur. So I also feel like it's similar to the movie of Vanilla Sky in the fact that there are 2 females who one has a main role, which in Birdman would be Emma Stone, and the movie critic, and Vanilla Sky it would be Penelope Cruz, and then the lesser female role, which is Cameron Diaz. So you can compare that to that. And
how does it, who is the movie critic? Who is she in the movie? She's the antagonist.
She's she's not really a good guy, but she's not really a bad guy either. She's just because she just poses the main threat. I feel like the lady who was pregnant for Birdman, or thought she was pregnant for Birdman, who pretended to be his friend, compared to Vanilla Sky, would be the lawyer who pretended to be his friend, but in Lou was not in the end.
Okay.
And then the pregnant lady broke up with him in the end.
Okay. Well, okay, as far as Birdman goes, and the reasons I liked it, I thought, I don't know, the story, it like, I didn't know what to expect when it was marketed. Like, when I saw the preview at the Academy Awards, it looked like it was going to be a lot of sci-fi and stuff, and it was pretty much a drama with some, quirky, clever comments. But
in my opinion, I feel like the end was confusing. The storyline was also hard to follow during the movie because you don't know if he's crazy or if he's just imagining things.
I think he is
crazy, or
crazy.
If he's reliving his glory days.
No, I think he's when he's flying his first manic episode. I believe that was to lay the groundwork for the conclusion, which was in her seeing him flying in the air. That was basically the conclusion of let me talk. That was.
But you only draw the conclusion that he's crazy when he's riding in the taxi and they show him flying. So you don't conclude that until the very middle of the movie.
Yeah.
But in the beginning of the movie, you only conclude that.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a few options you can go.
Exactly. That's a very intriguing
point.
There's only
a few roads you can take.
I've never thought about that. I've never thought about the fact that they were kind of not, if he was gonna be.
And that's exactly like Vanilla Sky. Like, there's so many like so many plots that you conclude to where it's going to end, but it doesn't really end. It just kind of drops off into the black, dark abyss of nothing and pisses you off because you feel like all that creativity could have gone something to a better ending of that movie to make it a masterpiece. When in fact it's confusing and it ends nowhere. It ends absolutely nowhere. You don't get anywhere with that. Which, like, if it were just, like, you know, like a drop-dead ending to where it would conclude, it wasn't conclusive, it would conclude
well, its entire entity was not what you were wanting. You know what I'm saying?
No, it wasn't.
They had an idea. It didn't meld well with you. But what I was saying about the conclusion, like, okay, so what's his name? The actor? Shoot. I always confuse him with Kevin Costner. Main guy who played Birdman. Okay, so his character, he wanted to be remembered. That's why he did the play in the first place. And so in when he killed himself at the end of the movie, I believe that he did jump out the window and he did fall to his death. And I believe that her seeing him fly in the air was actually the metaphorical sense of, oh, he's going to be remembered because of all the tweets that he got for doing the live action theater. If you've seen it, if you haven't, you're spoilerified. But yeah, I think it was the metaphorical sense of this is him going down in history as an artist, and that's basically what I think the conclusion means. I think that's what the writers intended, and so that's why I like it. It's because it's so artfully crafted and beautifully written, and it's poetic. Go on.
I feel like your conclusion though is only based on what your opinion of the movie is, because like you say it's this. And I say it's because.
But do you disagree? You know, I mean, because they show.
I do disagree.
They showed him in his manic state. You know, when he was manic, and then they showed the kind of transition of showing you that he's not actually flying; he's riding in a taxi, and he thinks he's flying.
Yeah.
So I think that transition from that to him in the window is directly correlatory. I think it's directly related.
And I don't.
You don't? You don't think his fly. So what do you think of the end? What do you make of it? What do you think it is?
I think he just killed himself and like his imagination just flew off with like that was symbolic. Like I feel like it symbolizes like his sanity dying.
Okay.
I feel like it was his sanity dying with him, and then his glory days of being the actor just flew away because in lieu of it being remembered, it was also forgotten in the long run.
You do, but recall though that his daughter was the one who wanted him to get on Twitter, was always badgering him about making fun of her for Twitter, and when she finally got him on Twitter, he was on Twitter. And he had 70-some thousand followers. So her real drive towards helping her father with what he wanted to accomplish was through social media. And so what could her joy possibly be about if, he just dies? Then
there's no conclusion to that. That's what I was saying. That's why I don't like the movie. There's no end conclusion. There's no solid conclusion to a movie that should have a solid conclusion. When all of this has been happening, it's just like Vanilla Sky. It's just like Vanilla Sky.
It was because it's deeper than Vanilla Sky.
It's deeper, but like the storylines are just exactly the same. For example, Birdman eventually he tries to commit suicide by shooting himself in the mouth, right?
Well, he didn't try to. He tried to kill himself.
Well, yes.
But accidentally.
But yes,
yeah,
he wasn't successful because he did it wrong. Yeah. Okay, then in Vanilla Sky, the main character tries to kill himself by overdosing, right?
He didn't try. He succeeded, but yeah.
No, he didn't succeed because he did not die.
He did die, and then they put him in a cryogenic freezer when he did die. We're talking Vanilla Sky now.
Well, anyway, I don't care. It's the same damn thing. He shot himself. He did overdose himself. And eventually they both ended up dying. But then the story plot throws it into some bullshit to extend the movie just so they can
Vanilla Sky? Or
both
Birdman?
Both of them. I feel like they didn't have a conclusion, so they just added some weird.
See, I think it was crafted from the get go. I think it was absolutely crafted.
I hated both of them. So.
See, I don't really care for Vanilla Sky. It's all right, but As far as Birdman, I like that movie. It's I think it's poetic. I think if you read into it to the point where where if you think the way I think,
but I don't.
It's well, I'm
Which
saying.
Is why I don't
well, let me finish my sentence. If you think that way, I find it beautiful. I find it to be rather poetic and rather very well translated. It's a very good translation of seeing that metaphor of his glory, or whatever you want to call his career, and his, like forgotten authors and famous, like Charles, or
I find it to be
Ernest Hemingway, or like people who died tragically, and like they left like legacies and stuff. I think it was.
Yeah, but these movies are not going to have a legacy.
No, I'm saying the translation that they did of showing her face and showing the metaphor of this is it. It was a very beautiful translation. It was subtle, but I picked up on it. If you guys, if you want to comment on it, if you side with Becca, side with Becca. If you side with me, we'd love to know your feedback.
We would.
Subscribe. I feel like we knocked out our key issues.
Yay!
If you
and you want to see a good movie, I think we both agree that we like Whiplash.
Oh,
right?
We're gonna review. Did we review Whiplash?
We have not.
We're gonna review Whiplash next. We just had to get Birdman out of the way because it was such a hot button issue for us. We differed in opinion so strongly, and let us know. All right.
Kisses.
Oh.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye. Oh, this is gold. These are the moments. These are the moments.